Yo, what's going on? Fears. Audience. Audience. Fears. Welcome. Pixel says the letter G. Visions says the letter A. Mercenary Man says the letter G. And Little Bob says B. I don't know. I don't know why they're spelling letters in the chat. Weird. Weird. And random. Weird and random. But that's okay. Triple Nickel says S. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Dankness says, hey, Fears. What's up, Dankness? How are you doing? Well, welcome, guys. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are all doing great. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Fears is doing pretty good. I slept, and I got a whole bunch of stuff to tell you guys. Some good, some bad, some just out of control. But I've got good news to start out with. Good news to start out with. The Fears Secret Project is up on the main channel. That's right. Me and Randall did a weekend at Bernie's, and we redid the intro. So if you guys have never seen a weekend at Bernie's part 2, they started with like a cartoon intro. And so I said, hey, Randall, I said, wouldn't it be great if we put like our own little like Fears and Randall spin on it? So some of it's shot for shot. Other shots, you see like Cameo Man and Cody like in the background. You see Fears Man fly by. So we kind of put our own little spin on it. Dana says, I gave you a like. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Triple says, I'm doing well, also great, and also fantastic. Well, that's good, Triple. Triple, where are the comments? Where are the comments? I mean, you were doing so good. Watch some more Fears videos and comment on them. Now. Mercenary Man says, are you feeling better, Fears? Feel a little bit better. A little bit better. But, yeah. I did not have a very good day yesterday, guys. And I'm not going to tell you guys the entire day of what happened, because a whole world of shit happened yesterday and the day before. So I'll just give you a 10-second version. So not yesterday, but Friday night going into Saturday morning, I was unable to come to work, and I had to call my boss and tell him. And of course, you know how bosses are, like no human compassion, no understanding. Like, hey, I got to run a business here. Well, yeah, no shit. I know you have to run a business, but it's Christmas time. Things happen. I'm sure you can understand, right? Apparently not. He got really mad. So my car broke down, and I've already been driving on my car on the check engine light. I'm waiting for a part to come in. They said it'll come in this Wednesday or Thursday, hopefully. That's when they said. And I said, is it okay to drive on the check engine light? And they said, oh, yeah. They said, you should be fine. Well, somewhere between like a week ago and now, I don't know how it happened, but I guess I must have hit a rough patch in the road or something. But my radiator started leaking, so no water. Well, your car has to have water in it to run. Also oil and a bunch of other stuff. So I could hear a sound. I could hear a leaking sound, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm driving to work. But again, I didn't know the leak then. I could hear something, though. I could hear like a rattling, which was all the leaking of the water. I'm driving down the road. All of a sudden, a red indicator light comes on, and it just keeps going beep, 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 beep. I mean, a massive fucking beep. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I pull off, into a parking lot, of a gas station. And I'd never seen this indicator, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then it was like, beep, 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 all this shit. So I turned off the car, and I was like, well, something must be up. And then all of a sudden I could hear that rattling again. And I said, maybe something's leaking. I look under my car, boom, I see all the water coming down. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, well, there's no way I can drive my car to work. I said, because, you know, it's bad to drive on your car, especially on a check engine light, but especially on like, pipes leaking, or the cords leaking or whatever. So I was like, if I drive on that with that little buzzer indicator beeping the whole way, it's just going to destroy my fucking engine. So I was like, that's not happening. So I like went into the gas station guy, and he said, the best thing you can do, he goes, I'll give you some free water. He goes, fill it up to the brim and fill it up to the brim and get back to your house and then park it. He goes, and then I wouldn't even drive it to your dealership. He goes, I would pay some money and have it towed to the dealership. And I said, okay, that's what I'll do. So I called my dad, and my dad's like, well, I would call your boss, John. I said, well, obviously, Dad. I said, I got to call him. And again, I'm not trying to shit on my boss because I do like my job, but no human compassion. And like, he's the greatest boss in the world, but when he's pissed, he's the worst boss in the world. So like, if you do a good job and you're working, he's all like, hey, John, hey, you doing good, everybody, and he's like all nice. But the minute you like fuck up, or the minute you can't come into work, or the minute like you do something wrong, instant like, what the fuck? And going ballistic. And I'm like, wow, no human fucking compassion. Apparently, no mistakes happen in my boss's world, or nothing just pops up out of random. Anyway, I could barely get a word in with him. So I just said, he's like, there's nothing to talk about, John. There's nothing to talk about. If you can't come into work, it's your responsibility, to fix your car. And I went, hey, guess what? That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I thought in my head. I didn't say it, but I'm like, what do you think I'm trying to do? Hilarious. What I really said was, I said, I understand, sir. I said, I'm waiting on a part. I said, two things have happened. He goes, what's happened to your car? I said, I had to order a part, a valve part. I said, and now my radiator is leaking, water. So I said, this just happened today. I said, on the way to work. And he's like, oh, is that why you didn't call someone in advance? I was like, yeah. I said, because it just happened. And my supervisor said I would call the main boss, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, well, why don't I just call him in the morning? Because it's like 12:30, And I had to clock in at like 12:35. And my supervisor's like, well, just call him, John, and let him know. He's like, if he doesn't pick up, just leave him a message. And again, I was like, he's going to be pissed because it's like 12 at night and he's probably trying to sleep. I didn't want to call him that late, but apparently my supervisor said, call the main boss. So from now on, I'm just going to if anything happens like that again, I'm not calling him at night. I'll just call him in the morning and leave him a message, because I guarantee you half of it was probably he was pissed because I woke him up in the middle of the night and he was trying to sleep, which I get. And the other half was I couldn't come into work. So to make a long story short, I was only like, I was maybe like 10 minutes away from my house because I had just gotten on the road, I guess, when this happened. So I told the gas station guy, I'm like, you think I could make it home? He's like, how far do you live? I said, oh, I've only been on the road 5 or 10 minutes. He goes, you'll make it to your house. He goes, if I fill up your water like to the brim. And I went, okay. So I filled it up. Thank God I got it back to my house, no problems. Called the tow truck guy and arranged to take it to the dealership in the morning. It's already at the dealership. They said, we'll get to it as quickly as possible. I have to pick up a rental car to get to work this week, tomorrow. And this will be Fears' first time using Uber. So now Fears is finally getting with the times, because I have no way to get to the rental place tomorrow to pick up my rental car while they work on my car. And I rented it for a week. So they said, we'll try to get it done in a week, Fears. And I said, okay. I said, I would really appreciate that. So my Uber's picking me up at around, I think it's 2:00 tomorrow. And then 2:00, and then get the car rental, and then I got a bunch of errands to do, and then off to work. So yeah, hilarious. So that was part of the reason, Mercenary Man, why I was not in a good mood. There was other things, but that was the main thing. But there was other things that I was not in a good mood because Mercenary Man wrote me and said, "Hey, Fierce, any chance we can get some weekend stream?" And I was like, definitely not. I said, definitely not tonight. I said, I've had a hell of a day. I said, maybe on Sunday. Maybe. So there was that. Let me catch up with some comments here. Triple says, I'm still watching for sure, Fears. I just forget to comment. Comment! Triple. Your comments are really nice. I appreciate all of your feedback, so be sure to comment on them. Dangness says, I hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit better. A little bit better. Little Bob says, King of Onions, King of Sleep, King of Dabs. I'm definitely the king of sleep, Little Bob, but I don't know what the hell you're on about dabs. I hardly ever dab, and I hardly ever eat onions, so I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Dang, Fears, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was sorry to hear about it, too. The Fears Mobile temporarily is out of commission, so they're working on it right now. Vision says, dang, you could have blown a gasket that way, and then it's toast. Well, thank God that didn't happen. It was just some leaky water. And I made it back because, like I said, I was only on. Thank God I was close to my house. Thank God I was close to my house. And, the service station guy at the gas station hooked me up. He's like, I won't charge for the water. And I was like, oh, that was really nice of you. And he goes, just get it home as soon as possible. And he goes, don't stop. And I was like, well, I'm going to stop if there's a stoplight. I said, I can't run. He goes, well, only for that. He goes, get home as soon as possible. And turn off your car. He goes, and then don't drive it to the dealership. I said, oh, I'm not. I said, I'm going to hire a tow truck guy. So in the morning, this morning, I'm sorry, Saturday morning at around 10 or 11, the tow truck guy got there, took it, and then I talked to the dealership guy, and he said, we probably won't get a chance to look at it until this Tuesday. So I think this Tuesday or this Wednesday, he said they're going to look at it. He said, I can't tell you which day, Fears, just one of those days. One of those days. And I said, okay. And I said, when should that part come in? He goes, at the latest, Fears, that part should come in this Friday. So I hope this week they can get it all done and fixed. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's see. So that's all the bad news. The good news is that my dad is feeling fan-friggin-tastic. And they're going to check his levels soon. And my dad said he's going to let me know if his levels have gone down or up. I'm almost 100% positive his levels have went down because he said he's been feeling, so good. He said a few days he felt like crap, but that was only because he hasn't had chemo treatment because you can't do this new radical liquid treatment while you're still on chemo. So he had to stop doing chemo. And he goes, that's why I hurt sometimes. He goes, but the new medicine that they gave me, the new liquid treatment is supposedly kicking in. So that's good. Good. Mercenary Man says, I thought your boss is usually understanding when you can't come into work or when you get sick. Well, usually he is, Mercenary Man. I mean, usually he's understanding. Like anytime I've said, hey, my Crohn's is kicking in, I can't come, I feel like utter garbage. He usually is. But for some reason, probably because I called him late at night, so I think I won't do that anymore. He was all pissed off, So I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, he was not a happy camper. And I'm like, I'm not making this stuff up, Like not that I was implying that he thought I was like lying about it, but I didn't say that. I'm very polite to my boss. I could barely get a word in because he was all mad. And so I just said, I'm sorry, sir. I want to come in. I don't know what to tell you. My car will not make it. And I said, I've had maintenance problems with my car for like the last 2.5 weeks. I'm trying to get it done. And I even explained it. I said, because it's the Christmas holiday and because of COVID, I said, usually like a part that they order, for your car, usually takes like what, 2-3 days to come in. They said, well, because of all like the us being backed up, it'll take like 9 or 10 days. So I was like, just get it done, get it fixed as soon as possible. I would really appreciate that, because there's no reason to get mad at the dealership people. They're trying their best. That's exactly how I said it. Very nicely, I said, if you guys can just fix it ASAP, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I said, I understand it's Christmas. I understand, COVID's still going on. Even though COVID's gotten better, it's still affecting some shit. So I understand people are going through a bunch of stuff. So I just said, just get it done as soon as possible. So I reassured my boss, I'm on top of it. I'm trying. I said, it's not that I don't want to come into work. I said, because now I missed out on all that money, Friday night. And I even told him, I said, I'm going to rent a rental car this week so I don't miss any more work. I said, and if I have to extend the rental car into 2 weeks, then I will if I have to. I said, that's just what you got to do, So there we are. Let's see. More good news. Like I told you guys at the start of this stream, big shout out to Randall. Randall, thank you so much for making Weekend at Bernie's 2, guys. The cartoon intro. If you have not seen it, it's on the main channel. And Randall is going to be putting it on his, I believe he said he's going to be putting it on his Cameo Man channel. So you can either check it out on Cameo Man 2021 or on Fears Man 26. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. So, all right. Let me scroll down here. Show Red Ryder BB gun. Oh, I wish, Tinder Immortal. I wish Fears had that, but no Red Ryder BB gun. But I did watch A Christmas Story a couple of days ago, and it's always a classic. It's always a classic. Dankness says, happy to hear about your father. Yeah, that was really happy to hear that. Triple says, that's good. Whatever you say, you have bad news. I just hope it's not about your dad. Yeah, me too. But I fear that one day where I'm gonna have to tell you guys, hey guys, my dad didn't make it. Because everyone dies. But hopefully that won't be for quite a long time. So yeah. Spooky Girl is here, and she says, hey, Fierce, what up, Spooky Girl? Tinder Immortal says, you don't have Jingle All the Way on Blu-ray. I don't have, unfortunately, no, Tinder Immortal. I don't have it on Blu-ray, but I've got it on DVD. I've got it on DVD up there. What's up, Pixel? Courtney, what's up? And Triple says for sure. So, yeah. But besides all that crapola, guys, work actually is going good. And I've got some good news. I thought I was going to have to work Christmas Eve. This is flipping amazing, guys. Not only does Fears get Christmas Eve off, I get Christmas Day off. And then, Christmas is on a Saturday, so I usually have Sundays off, and then I'll be back to work on Monday. So Fears gets a 3-day Christmas weekend. Hell yes. And I totally forgot about this, but I think I told you guys about this. A couple weeks ago, another one of my bosses, not my main boss and not my supervisor, another boss. I've got 3 bosses that I report to. And one of them is a girl and the other 2 are guys. And the girl called me and said, hey, Fears, I just need you to answer me something. I said, yeah, sure, what's up? And she was like, would you rather work Christmas Eve and have Thanksgiving off, or would you rather work all through Thanksgiving and have Christmas Eve off, and then roll into Christmas? I said, I would for sure love Christmas Eve off and Christmas off more than Thanksgiving. I said, I can eat at my apartment and then come into work later, for Thanksgiving. And that's exactly what I did. And she went, okay. She's like, good to know. And I forgot that she asked that. But before my car and all that crapola broke down, all that happened, the day before I was at work, and they had printed a little sheet and put it on the wall, and it said, people working on Christmas Eve people that have off Christmas Eve, and I went up and just kind of looked down, and I was like, oh shit, awesome. I'm like, I said, I remember that. I remember her asking me that. At first I forgot though. So then I looked down, I was like, oh yeah, shit. I'm like, cool, nice. I'm like, Christmas Eve off. I'm like, well, I will tell the fan. I will tell the fans. So, but yeah. So there it is. Let's see. Triple says, well, hell yeah. A 3 dung bung Christmas bung weekend. Yeah, hell yeah. See, now you're getting the lingo, Triple. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud when people embrace the bung. Pixel says, the boss might be upset because you... No, Pixel. He can't be upset about that because the other... He knows about that. He knows about that because my company really cares about, hey, like the holidays and people's lives and stuff. So he can't be mad at that because the other boss asked every single employee, hey, do you want to work on Thanksgiving? Hey, do you want to work New Year's? I probably will be working New Year's because I remember they asked about that, and I said, yeah, I said I'll work New Year's. So I'll probably have to work that, but I get Christmas off, so he can't be mad about that. So yeah. Let's see. Spooky Girl says, is Courtney the least attractive female you know? Wow, what a question. Well, I don't really know Courtney that much, Spooky Girl. I've seen a picture of her, and I've seen her in video talks, and she's a little bit older than I am, but she's not ugly, you know. What a question to ask. That's kind of weird. Courtney, you're not ugly. Just Spooky Girl, Courtney's just not my type of woman. Plus, Courtney, I think, is already with somebody, and she has a kid, and all that kind of stuff. So that was the most weirdest random question I've ever been asked, or one of the most weirdest questions. No offense, Spooky Girl, but just keep those kind of questions to yourself. But yeah. So yeah. Weekend at Bungies. Exactly, Triple. Check that out. Watch that. I just posted like maybe 2 or 3 hours ago to the main channel. So watch it, comment, and let me know what you think. Pixel says, not mad about Christmas being off. I'm talking about him being mad that you call out every week. No, I don't call out every week, Pixel. This is the first time I've called out in quite a while, like at least in a month or two. You know? So yeah. I did not take that words per minute test. Not yet, Pixel, but I will. So I seriously think he was just mad because I called him late at night. And I even told my supervisor, I'm like, why don't I just like text him in the morning or call him? Oh, I said, all right, how about this? I said, I'll text him. I'll shoot him a text at night so he knows I can't come in. I said, in the morning, then I'll give him a call and let him know, hey, what happened? So I think a lot of it was because it was like 12:30 at night, and I guarantee you he was asleep, you know? So, but let's hope I don't have to call in like for quite a long time. But no, I haven't called in quite a long time. Spooky Girl says, you are not my type of woman, and answers all the question. That's not, I'm just being honest. Like I see Courtney more as a friend, Spooky. But for you to ask like, hey, is she fucking ugly? No, Courtney's not ugly. I just thought it was kind of a very blunt question. Anyway, Pixel says, are you going to do a Christmas dancing video like I did a couple of years ago? No, Pixel, but I've got the ultimate Christmas unboxing video, and I got a few little surprises coming. So that's all I can say at this very moment. But no Christmas dance video. Even though everybody liked the last one that I did a few years ago, and Pixel was really cool, and he made me like a gangster rapper dance one, which I thought was so funny, and Pixel gave me permission to upload that one, so that was pretty cool. All right, let's get to the first topic. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Check this bad boy out. Fears recently bought this December 1st. Booyah! All right, here we go. The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore. All right. Is that Tommy NC 2010's reindeer? I think so. Tommy, I wasn't making fun of you. It's cool to have reindeer. All right. All right. The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. Moore. Illustrations by Christine Birmingham. All right. Here's an introduction. In 1822, a New York worker named Clement Clark Moore spun together Christmas memories and stories for his children. The poem he wrote featured a red-suited Santa in a reindeer-drawn sleigh, a never-emptied sack of toys, and stockings hung by the fireplace. He called it A Visit from St. Nicholas, and it was published in a newspaper in Troy, New York. Nice. There it is. All right, here we go. So hopefully you guys can see that. Here, I better scoot over a little bit. There we are. All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and fears was in his house. Not a creature was stirring, not even that damn mouse. Let's see. There we are. Let's start the story over again. All right. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and fears was in his house. Not a creature was stirring, not even that damn mouse. Fears' stinky socks were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas, that fat ass, would soon be there. Fears was all Fears was all nestled, all snug in his bed, while visions of Dillian danced in his head. And his mom back in Missouri, and his dad with his cap. Fear settled his little head down for a long winter's nap. When right outside his apartment, there rose such a clatter, Fear sprang from his bed to see what the hell was the matter. When what to his wonderful eyes should appear but a truckload of women and a caseload of beer, and St. Nicholas dancing with cheer. So you guys are going to have to, so that's all you guys get. That's all you guys get. And Fears will read the rest in the Christmas unboxing video. So just wanted to give you a little taste. A little taste. Nice. Tinder Immortal says, did Randy write that book? Well, actually, me and Randy both wrote that version. So Fears' version will be coming in the Christmas unboxing video. So you guys will love it. Let's see. Pixel says, did you know Coca-Cola made up our version of Santa Claus? Not even trolling. They came up with the design and how we see Santa today. Really? Well, it's probably a mixture of that, Pixel, but I mean, this guy really did write about, you know, Santa Claus and the reindeer and stuff like in 1822. So I'm sure Coca-Cola got inspired by this guy's poem and other things. Just saying. I'm sending you coal for Christmas. Nice. Send me that coal, Pixel. Send me that coal. So that is that was a little like joke, guys. I thought, you know what, Fears will start the stream just like that. I hope you guys got a little giggle out of it. All right, next topic. I thought I would tell you guys some classic Christmas stories from Fears' life. And the first one, I remember, Fears was very cheeky as a kid. I remember there was a church that me and my mom and my dad and my brother went to in St. Louis, and it was a really nice church. And down in the basement of the church, they had this great like like Christmas party, and I think it was like December 23rd or December 22nd. So it was right before Christmas, and Santa Claus had came, and one of my friends dared me to pull on his beard, and I did, and that did not go down well. But I made sure that I sat on his lap, and I told him everything that I wanted, and then I got off of his lap, went and had something to eat, and I was probably only, I don't know, maybe 7, maybe 8, and then my friend dared me, so I got back in line, and he's like, "Hey, you're back," and I said, "Santa," I said, "Can I ask you a question?" And he went, "Sure." And then that's when I grabbed it, and this guy actually had a real beard. It wasn't a fake beard, and I pulled on it, and he went, "Oh," like that. And then I was like, "Sorry," I'm like, "I was just joking, Santa." And he's like, "Don't do that again." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Go back to your mom." And so I got off of his lap, and probably with good reason, he got up a couple minutes later and went to the bathroom. Probably because his chin was hurting, because I tugged on that thing really hard. And my mom and my dad saw it, and they made me go up to him and apologize. So I did. And then my mom's like, "Did anyone dare you to do that?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Him." And I pointed to my buddy. So I kind of ratted out my buddy. And his parents made him go up and apologize to me and to Santa. So, but I still got some presents that year. But man, whew. I think I was like, so it was somewhere between, I was 6, 7, 8-ish, somewhere around there. So yeah. Pixel says the real Santa Claus was a cannibal, not a white jolly man. I don't know about all that, Pixel. I mean, the story of Santa Claus, he actually was a saint, in the church. You know? You know? So yeah. Oh shit. Tommy says, honestly, John, I did not like the joke you said. No offense. So I would appreciate it if you would not say any more. I was just joking, Tommy. I was just joking. I was just playing around. Oh shit, hang on. Let me call Tommy. Hang on. Give me a second. Tommy, I was just joking around, buddy. Hang on. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to call Tommy. I was just joking around. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I am back. I am back. So apparently, that's not Tommy. That is not Tommy. That is a fake Tommy NC 2010. So you're gone. Because Tommy said he's not even watching me right now. So yeah, what do you think about that? There you go. Awesome. All right. So let's get back to the show. All right. So next story. So there was one story where the next story was I've never had a Christmas in England until now. When I was about, I think I was like 13, 14, my mom said, hey, John, like, I want you to know, I want you to know both sides of your culture, like your American culture and your British culture. And then, my mom and dad looked at me and my brother and my grandma and said, like, hey, how would you like to, go to England for Christmas? And I was like, oh, it's so badass, because I had never had a Christmas in England ever. And it was around, I think I was like 1998, 1999, somewhere around there. I honestly can't remember. But that was, that was a Christmas to remember. I've flown tons of times, but this is the first time we took British Airways. And I think that was the time, I remember I told you guys where they overbooked us, and we got to sit in first class. So already it was a great, a great start to our vacation. I was like, oh, sweet, first class. And since, like, if it's more than 8 hours on a plane, they have to serve you dinner and breakfast. So to get to England, from Missouri to England, it's, I believe, 10 and a half hours, I believe. And their breakfast in first class was amazing. Let's see. Tinder Immortal says, I'm sorry that timeline between Fears visiting Missouri and the pregnancy were so sync. It must have been scary. I don't know what you're on about, Tinder Immortal. Everybody thinks that it's either Richie's son that Carrie's having or mine. I did not hang out with Carrie, whenever I was in Missouri. Carrie lives in like 2 or 3 like cities way, way far from me. Like she lives nowhere near like where my family lives. What's up, Carrie? Apparently, Carrie, they're trying to figure out who's the father. But didn't you say in your stream you're not even pregnant? I guess it was just a scare. That's what I got out of Carrie's stream. But there it is. Carrie said she's fixing spaghetti. That actually sounds really good. I haven't had dinner yet, so I'll prepare something after this. Dana says, did Santa find you and get lots of presents? Or did I get lots of presents? That story that I was saying, Dankness? Yeah, he still came, even though I pulled on his beard. But I was like 6 or 7, so my parents weren't not going to give me and my brother a good Christmas. I did get in trouble, though. I was grounded for like a week or 2. So I did get in trouble. Anyway, back to the second story. So I had never done a Christmas in England. So when I went overseas, he found us, and we got tons of presents. Yep. So like I said, as you guys all know, British people do a little bit different, Christmas, but I got to celebrate all the American stuff and all the British stuff, and we had tons of British food. Some I had ate before, some I had not ate before, but now I do because their food is amazing. It's really fattening, it's really thick, but it's still good food. I loved their British breakfast, Tinder Immortal. I honestly can't remember what they, because this is going back a few years. I was like maybe 13, maybe 14. I do remember they served pancakes, though, on the flight, on the British Airways. I don't remember. They served a bunch of stuff, though, because we our seats were overbooked, and we had to stay in first class. And I remember, the only thing I can remember is I remember they gave me orange juice and I had pancakes, but they had like a whole spread on the plane. Like we had like bacon but when I actually got to England, then my British family like would always cook us like traditional like British foods. So I've had all that stuff. I've had blood sausage, I've had beans, tomato, eggs, because this was all before Fears got Crohn's. So I could actually eat fried tomatoes and all that good stuff. So probably if I went over to England right now, I could still eat all that stuff, except I would not eat the beans, because beans hurt my stomach, and the tomato, because the tomato has a lot of acid in it, and that would hurt my stomach too. So besides those two things, I would eat everything else. I can still have Yorkshire puddings. I can still have blood sausage. I can still have bangers and mash. I can still have mince pies, and I can have Christmas pudding and spotted dick, which is the most craziest name for a fucking Christmas dessert cake. That's what they call it. And it's actually really good. I'm not even kidding you. It just has the most weird, fucked up name ever. Hey, do you guys want some spotted dick? Sounds like a porno. Yeah, I'd love some spotted dick. It's a cake, for Christ's sake. It's a Christmas cake. Miss Lovett's meat pies. Oh, I've had meat pie, Tinder Immortal. They're good. I've had meat pies. They're good. And if you guys don't know what food I'm talking about, just watch A Christmas Carol, because they have all those breakfast and dinner British foods in any version of A Christmas Carol. So there it is. Mercenary Man says, when's the second episode of Tommy and Fear's podcast coming out? Well, Tommy's already got it out on his channel, Mercenary Man. I need to download. Tommy gave me permission to download it and recut it and put it on my channel. So yeah. Carrie says, of course I want some spotted dick. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's true, Carrie. If any girl would, it would be you. Oh, man. That was funny. That made my night. That was hysterical. Oh, God. Oh, shit. That was funny. That was pretty funny. Oh, God. That was 4 months ago. Oh, I know, Mercenary Man. I know. I need to get with it. But no, I haven't downloaded episode 2 yet. But episode 2 will be coming soon. I've asked Tommy about when episode 3 coming. And he said he had some problems with his computer. That's what he told me. He said he's had some problems with his computer. And he said as soon as he gets something fixed on his computer, we'll do episode 3. And I said, all right. I said, well, I'm not going to keep asking you, Tommy. I said, whenever you get it fixed, you let me know. And he said, oh, yeah, I definitely will. So it's coming. Dankness said, did you have fish and chips? Oh, yeah, Dankness. Anytime I go over to England, fish and chips, oh, they're so good. I actually like the chips more than the fish, because they serve different types of fish with fish and chips, but if you don't get it like nice and hot, because sometimes like they'll cook it and they'll put it in the fryer for like all day or whatever, or they'll keep it like in the warmer all day. So whenever I get it, I'll be like, do you guys think you can make some freshly made chips and some freshly made fish? And then I put the seasoning on it, and oh God, it's so good. They call their French fries chips. That's why it's fish and chips. So really, it's fish and French fries, and it's so fucking good. And then they call their potato chips crisps. So if you would say, hey, can I have some chips? They would actually give you French fries. And that happened to me once, like whenever I was a little kid, because I forgot to say crisps. And I was in a restaurant and I wanted some potato chips with my hamburger. And I ordered the hamburger and I said, oh, can I have some chips? Because I was only like 6 or 7. And they're like, sure. And then they brought up some French fries. And I was like, I don't want any French fries. And they're like, oh, you're an American. And then the lady looked at me. I was like 7 or 8. And she goes, excuse me, son. She called me son. She goes, excuse me, son. She's like, chips in England are actually French fries, and you want potato chips, just say, can I have some crisps? And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, can I have some salt and vinegar crisps with my hamburger? She went, surely. And so she took the French fries away, and then she gave me the chips. So there it is. I thought it was funny. But no, dankness, if you ever get a chance, go to England, get yourself some authentic fish and chips. Whew, so good, man. So good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Dana says, you have a good fish and chip place near you where you live? No, I don't, dankness. No fish and chips. They do have that British restaurant, but for some reason they don't serve fish and chips. I have not seen fish and chips on the menu. And then Dana says you should do a review. Oh, I've done a review, dankness. I've already reviewed that British restaurant. Their food. Oh my God, their food is fucking amazing. I'm actually going for Christmas dinner. It's either on the 17th or the 18th. I can't remember. It's coming up soon. So Fears will probably film a little bit of that, for the Christmas unboxing video. So yeah. So it's going to be an authentic British Christmas dinner. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good. And I'll get to eat it before work. Because if it's either on the 7th, I've got it written down over there. It's either on the 17th or the 18th. I still have to go into work. But it is so fucking cool that I get Christmas Eve off, Christmas Day off, and that Sunday off, and then back to work on Monday. So hell fucking yeah. So those are two big Christmas stories that I wanted to tell. So yeah, so we were over in England. The whole British side of the family was there. It was like it was kind of like Out of the Christmas Carol, but a modern version of it. We had an authentic fire going. There was tons of snow because, unfortunately, in England, only in the summertime do they have good weather. If it's in the fall or the winter or like around January, it's either snowing a lot or rainy or cloudy or all that shit mixed together. So we had an authentic British white Christmas. We had a big old fucking dinner. Then in the morning, I had a letter from Santa saying, like, wanted to make your British Christmas magical. And I traveled over to England and left you a bunch of presents. And we did the whole gold coins, in the stocking and all that shit. And we opened up the stockings first, just like British people do. They open their stockings first and then their presents. And watch that stream that I did a few days ago, guys, on how British people celebrate Christmas. We did a lot of those traditions, if not all of them. So, yeah. All right. Last topic, childhood stories. So I got two good childhood stories. When I first went into, it was either the Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts. Cub Scouts come first, and then Boy Scouts. I'm trying to remember when this happened. I think it was, because when you're in the Cub Scouts, you have to get like 4 or 5 badges before you can even progress to being a Boy Scout. You have to be like a Weeblo, a Cub Bear, and all that other stuff. And I was getting my last badge in Cub Scouts, and I had to go on this big overnight like camping trip that lasted like 4 or 5 days. And I guess it's like an initiation, like like going into the Boy Scouts. You guys probably have heard of this, but if you don't, I'll explain. There's this tradition in the Boy Scouts that that one night the scout leader picks somebody to take you on a trip into the woods, and you go snipe hunting. Now, there's no such thing as snipes, but that's the idea. Basically it's a prank, and they're initiating you into the Boy Scouts. And they went through this whole spiel like Fierce. You got to get low and make sure you entrap them in this trash bag, and you have to shine the light. So they had a bunch of Boy Scouts like hidden in the woods, and I walked by like this pond, and they kept throwing rocks in the pond, and I thought it was the fucking snipe moving. So I'm all like this, and they're like, Fierce, you got to like get the trash bag like in the water, shine the light. And they kept throwing rocks in. So I thought it was like fucking bubbling it up and shit. And again, I was stupid for believing this, but everybody goes through this. Or at least they do this tradition in Missouri. I don't know if they do this tradition, you know, all through the United States, but they do it in Missouri. So I was getting pissed. I was like, why the hell can I not find one of these things? And I finally said, you know what, guys, I'm done. I'm like, I tried. And he said, well, Fears, you got to stay until you get one. And he goes, because they taste really good. He goes, we'll get them in the bag, and then like one of the leaders will kill it, and then like we'll put it on the fire. And I was like, I'm good. I'm like, that doesn't seem appetizing to me. I'm like, you know, I'll just stick with, you know, whatever else food. And so I went back, and all the leaders were like, hey, Fears, what are you doing back? So I was like, I couldn't catch one. I'm like, I've been out there for an hour and a half. And they're like, well, you should go back out and try it. And I was like, well, I'm getting tired. And they were really trying to send me back out because I guess like the prank wasn't over. And they're like, well, are you hungry? I said, yeah. I said, I came back. I said, I'm not eating one of those things. I said, no way. And they're like, well, we just cooked some hot dogs and some hamburgers. You want some? I said, yeah. I said, I would love one. So I ate, and they're like, just try once more to go back out. So I went, okay. And so I went back out. All the guys were still out there. Little did I know that even gave them an even better idea. They're like, hey, Fears, like, what are you doing? I said, the leader said I should give it one more go. So I said, I'll give it one more go. And I wasn't like super pissed. I was just getting frustrated because we were out there for like an hour and a half. So I wasn't like, hey, this is bullshit, you know, I'm fucking leaving. It wasn't anything like that. I just I folded up the trash bag and said, hey, you know what, guys? You know, we've been out here for an hour and a half. I'm getting tired. I said, I think I'm going to go grab a hot dog and a hamburger. I'm going to call it a night, you know. And we had all of our tents set up. And they're like, all right, Fears. Yeah, no worries. I mean, like, you did your best. And I was like, yeah. So I went and ate, and then they convinced me to come back out. And as I was coming back out, one of the like all the other Boy Scouts were out there. And they're like, well, Fears, we're going to give it one more go. And I said, okay. And he said, just stay behind me. And somebody, I don't know who to this day, because he didn't take off the mask, but somebody had purchased an authentic, I mean, huge, like Bigfoot mask and suit. And he was hiding on the ground, and he was basically covered with leaves. Covered with leaves. We're walking down this path, and I guess he just waited for the perfect moment. And I'm walking behind this one of my friends, one of the Boy Scout guys, and he's like, Fears, you got your trash bag ready to go? He goes, I got the flashlight. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm all good, man. And I said, look, I only want to do this for about 10 or 20 minutes. I said, I'm really getting tired. I said, if we don't do it in about 20 minutes, I said, you know, I want to go to sleep, because it was like around 11 or like 12. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got you. He's like, well, let's try down this path. They had planned all of this. So the guy was in the Bigfoot costume, laid down. He had all the leaves all over him. As I got close to him, I could not see him because there was leaves, tons of leaves, and it was like in the fall, like November-ish, end of October-ish. In Missouri, tons and tons of leaves fall on the ground. So there's no way that I could see this guy. He was buried in leaves. So I'm walking. All of a sudden, the guy in the Bigfoot costume, he just comes jumping out of the leaves. I threw the fucking trash bag at him, and I went, oh, shit! And I fucking took off running. The guy with the flashlight was like, Fears, where are you going? I'm like, fuck you, I'm out of here. And I fucking took off running. So that's a pretty funny childhood story that I thought you guys would get a giggle out of. And I got back, and all the scout leaders were like laughing their ass off. And they're like, hey, Fears, like, did you catch anything? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what'd you catch? I'm like, I caught a Bigfoot. I'm like, you dumbasses. And then they were like, well, Fears, they're like, we're sorry if we scared you. Like, it's just an initiation. I'm like, it's cool. I'm like, I thought it was hilarious. I said, I'm going to go to bed. I wasn't even pissed at all. I was laughing my ass off. I mean, I was a tiny bit scared because, you know, I was like, what? I was like 8 or 9 whenever this happened. Somewhere rather. 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that age range. Mercenary Man says, how old were you during this? Like I said, it was somewhere around, I honestly don't remember, Mercenary Man. It had to have been because you have to be a certain age to be in the Boy Scouts. I think you have to be like 11 to be in the Boy Scouts. And if you don't get your Eagle Scout by the time you're 18, 18 is the last year you can be in the Boy Scouts. So I was around 10 or 11 or 9, somewhere around there. And the quicker you do all the merit badges, the quicker you get to be in the Boy Scouts. So I was just like, I did really good in the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. I would just fly through all the merit badges. I would look in the book and say, all right, what are the easiest ones to do? All right, make a fire and you'll get your fire badge. Okay, well, that's easy. So I remember me and my dad like made like a log cabin fire like in our backyard. And then to show that I did it, my dad took a picture of the fire that I made, and then we showed it to the scout leader. And so that was an easy badge. So I just kept getting badges super quick. So I was like one of the quickest to be like in the Boy Scouts, you know, because I just kept flowing through all the merit badges. And like I said, I was around 9, 10, or 11. And most kids become a Boy Scout at like 11 or 12. But because I was just flying through, they said there's no reason that Fierce can't be in the Boy Scouts because he's done everything that he's, you know, supposed to do. You know, he's done all the merit badges. Just we've never seen anyone do it that quick. And I was, like I said, I was like 9, 10, or 11 when I did the Boy Scouts. And then I did Boy Scouts all the way until 17, 18. I never got my my Eagle badge though. I got the one right before the Eagle. So I think it goes Life, Heart, and then Eagle, or it's Heart, Life, Eagle, I think. Yeah, I think it's Heart, Life, and then so I got it all the way to the Life badge, and then I was one away from the Eagle. I just ran out of time because I was like 18. They said, unfortunately, they said you can't be 19 Fears in the Boy Scouts, and I was like, that's fine. I said I still had a great time and made a lot of friends and did a lot of stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty hilarious story. All right, another childhood story. And this is kind of a cool one because if you guys have ever eaten those, I freaking love those Geno's pizza rolls. Well, Fears is so old. I remember when those things came out. They came out in the 80s, and they're still popular to this day. I remember my friend lived at the he did live at the end of the street, but then he moved. And I don't know why he moved 2 streets over, but I guess him and his family got like a better deal on a bigger house. And I remember we were at school, and he said, hey, Fears, he goes, you want to hear something weird and random? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you know how like I live at the end of your street? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, not anymore. I said, oh, I said, shit, man, I'm going to miss you. Like, what city? Like, what state are you moving to? I said, let's keep in touch and, you know, be friends forever and blah, blah, blah. And he went, oh, Fears, we're still going to be friends. And we are friends to this day. I still keep in touch with him on Facebook. But he goes, you don't understand, Fears. He goes, my parents are moving us 2 streets over. I went, what, in the same subdivision? He goes, yeah. And I said, why? And he said, well, as far as I know, like they were sick and tired of our like little ranch house, and they wanted a 2-story house, and they found one 2 streets over. And I was like, all right, man, cool, whatever. I'm like, at least we'll still be able to hang out. And I remember they moved in a couple months later, and I had never heard of Geno's pizza rolls, you know, because I've always had like, you know, flat pizza, no idea what they were. And I came over, and my friends were like, hey, what do you think of our new house? I was like, it's pretty cool, man. And we were playing video games. I don't remember which ones because I know someone's going to ask. I don't remember what game we were playing, but we were playing. And for lunch, his mom made us Geno's pizza rolls. Then he went, oh, Fears. He's like, dude, my mom just said lunch. He goes, we're going to have pizza rolls. And I looked at him like he was nuts. And I'm like, and I said, and I grabbed onto his shirt, and I said, wait a minute. I said, are we having pizza with rolls? And he went, no. I went, well, I said, what the hell is pizza rolls? And he went, Fears, pizza rolls. I had no idea what he was talking about. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I said, I'm asking you. I said, are we having like pizza with some rolls on the side? And he was like, Fears, pizza rolls. He goes, have you never heard of those? I was like, never. And this is before the internet and all that stuff. So he's like, come here, Fears. He goes, I'll show you what the bag looks like in the freezer. So he went to the freezer, opened it up, show me the Gino's pizza roll. And I said, oh, I said, so what? Like they're like mini pizzas? He's like, yeah. He goes, they just roll it up and it's like a mini pizza. I was like, oh, I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I'm sure I'll like them. And he goes, you've never heard of these Fears? I said, no. I said, my mom's never bought them. My mom's never made them. I said, anytime we have pizza, my mom either heats up a frozen pizza or my mom makes homemade pizza. And he went, oh, he goes, that's random. I said, it's not random. I said, just, I've never had pizza rolls before. And so he's like, well, you're going to love them, dude. And I went, okay. So I thought that was a funny story to tell. I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. No clue. Because I've always ate just pizza. And again, I was around 7 or 8, I think, when this happened. But I remember that story vividly. Because I looked at him, and we must have had this, like, a 4-minute conversation. I was so confused. I'm like, I don't know what you're on about. I'm like, pizza with rolls on the side? I'm like, pizza, right? And he's like, Fears. He's like, let me just show you the bag. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're on about, man. And he finally showed me. But, yeah. Pretend Story says, did this influence you to get into the security service? No. What got me into the security service was I started in Missouri, and I was looking for a better job because I think at the time I was working at Walmart or Costco or something like that, and I was just getting sick and tired of that. And my buddy said, hey, Fears, have you ever thought about, I think it was Eric that told me about it, either Eric or my buddy Tom. And he said, hey, have you ever thought about being a security officer? He goes, it's easy work, and it's usually during the day or at night. And in Missouri, I got paid more. Like for that first security job when I was working at doing the security at Verizon, and then they only needed me there for like 6 months, and then they transferred me to another company. Not another company, another. I still worked for the same security company, but they in that security, kind of like the security company I'm at now. Whenever a job is done, you move to the next company that needs security, unless they want you there 24/7. So this security company, I lucked out. The place that I'm at now, which I'm not going to tell you guys, they need me there all the time. So I'm like, oh, that's good. I don't have to move around a lot. But the security company that I was working for in Missouri, they had me moving around. So they said, you're going to be at the Verizon call center, Fears, for like 6 or 7 months. I loved that place because we got free food. It was in a big building, and we had the coolest, biggest security office ever that I've ever been in to this day. And then once the job was done, they were like, hey, Fears, we're moving you. And all the other places that I went to in Missouri, they were okay, but they weren't as good as the Verizon place. Like they had small little security offices. I didn't get any free food. Sometimes I got free coffee at the other places, but yeah. But yeah. Pretend Story says, do you ever carry a gun or a flashlight? I did carry a flashlight and a taser in Missouri, but nothing here in Florida. It's not that type of security. It's different type of security. Pretend Stories. Anyway, guys, that's a good place to call it a night. But I hope you guys enjoyed all those little stories and all those little topics and my little parody of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And don't worry, Fears will read the entire parody version story that me and Randall have came up with in the Christmas unboxing video. So get ready for all that. It's going to be good stuff. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to FearsMan26 and Fears Vlogs. Don't forget to subscribe to the myth, the man, the legend that is Lord of the Pylons, Lord Pixel at Pixel Protocol on YouTube. Don't forget to walk on over to Twitch and subscribe to my buddy, the Sega Camp Gamer on Twitch, because apparently he doesn't do YouTube anymore, which is all right. You know, his passion's more about video games. Sega, you keep rocking those Twitch channels. Yeah, man. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mayor of Magic and Cameo Man 2021 and Triple Nickel Pickle. I want to see some more commenting. So with everybody, watch some of my videos, comment, give me your feedback. Don't forget to check out the new cartoon intro for Weekend at Bernie's 2 that me and Randall worked on the main channel. And this is Fears signing off. Peace. Hey, guess what? Good news. Shunk.